Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now here for a historic and path-breaking moment. Renowned management consultants, Wazir advisors, are knowledge partners to Galleria Intima 2014. In a path-breaking new initiative, in fact, in a historic initiative, the Intimate Apparel Association of India have commissioned Wazir advisors to launch an in-depth study into the new age woman customer. Who is she? Her style profile, her demographic and psychographic profile, her shopping behavior, her purchase influences, brand perceptions, and very especially buying behavior for lingerie in the upcoming category, shapewear. The white paper also highlights opportunities for accelerated growth for all stakeholders and identifies a roadmap for the industry. Presenting the highlights of this first ever white paper will be Mr. Prashant Agarwal of Wazir Advisors. Prashant is a textile engineer and MBA and has over 2 decades experience in strategy, joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions, operations consulting and manufacturing with domain expertise in international exposure in textiles and the apparel industry. He has completed projects successfully with all major associations in textile and apparel industry in India. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the highlights of the Intimate Apparel Association of India's first ever white paper, Changing Face of the Indian Intimate Wear Consumer from Basics to Function, Fashion and Fun. Please put your hands together for Mr. Prashant Agarwal, Wazir Advisors.
It's a great pleasure to come over here and present at this conference because people have come from all over India as well as globally. So the key part of this association, this presentation where we all come over and discuss is that people from world over, they come, they spend 2 days together and discuss the key issues which this industry is facing. So while last year we were there and we had very detailed discussion in terms of how manufacturing industry needs to evolve. We had panel discussions, presentations on what's the size of this industry and how manufacturing industry needs to evolve. But beyond this, now almost 2 months, 3 months back, Yusuf, Mr. Grover and we were discussing in terms of now this industry needs to move forward to understand their consumer, to do changes in their business after in-depth understanding of the consumer here. And that's how this study was launched, where Intimate Apparel Association of India, they came up with this idea, they came to us and we really thank them to give us this opportunity to come out with this study. And just to brief you about Wazir Advisors, we are management consultant in textiles and retail. When we say retail, we are consultants across segments in retail. Why? Because we as a company, we study consumer behavior in depth. And whether it is automobile, whether it is telecom, whether it is fashion, the consumer is same who is buying these products. So how consumer behavior is changing, what is the impact of this consumer behavior change on our business is very important to study. And Wazir Advisors, we do in-depth studies regularly. That's why how consumer is evolving in different segments, and Intimate Apparel is part of that. And this gives us really a great understanding of this industry. Now, as you see the topic, Changing Face of Indian Intimate Wear Consumer from Basics to Function, Fashion and Fun. The presentation we have divided into these parts. First, we'll talk about research objective and methodology. Then we'll talk about market overview. How big is the market? How it is growing? Then we'll really talk about what is this new age consumer in different age groups, what they buy, what is their disposable income, what they wear, how they spend. So all of those we'll discuss in detail here. And then what are the emerging categories in this segment? And then very important part is, after understanding whole of this study, what is the way forward for this industry? Brands, basic and mass fashion brands, basic and functional brands, and functional and fashion brands. So this is how, if you see different color notations, you will find that which brand is perceived in which segment. This is the market perception of different brands in different segments. We have mapped it in terms of pricing and styling. And you find like these are quotes. Suppose for M&S, people will say it's a comfortable designer collection. For NMR, they will say experimental with color, stylish, premium, comfortable and durable. So this is consumer perception about different brands. For jockey, they will say sports bra, mainly they focus on this, and regular wear. And then for bewitched, stylish, sexy, young, new, premium. Similarly, there are other, there's Sonari wear, affordable fashion. We have Paris Beauty, Indian brand, which is very comfortable. So there is a mapping, there is, like we talked about different brands, we took consumer response and mapped it accordingly, whatever the consumer. So it's on the basis of consumer response, and then, you know, in terms of styling and then pricing categories, this is how we have mapped these brands. So most used brands for fashion, NMR, for basics, jockey, lovable and body care. This is how it emerged from this study. Definitely much more detail you will find in the report. Then when you talk about retail shopping behavior, which kind of formats where people are more comfortable buying? Modernized MBO are the most preferred by customers to shop. The only caveat here is that these MBOs are also changing. They are changing their interiors, they are making consumer more comfortable. There are consultants who are there, you know, this lady consultant who will tell them what is the right size and everything. So though the interiors are changing, but maximum buying is happening through these MBOs because consumer gets more variety, more options in this, while larger format stores are preferred by young customers, like, you know, Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle. They are preferred by young customers. Again, to be more comfortable, to be in a better environment. All of these really adds to having more options, adds to your buying pattern. Then due to lesser availability of organized people, like they are not more, people still buy from nearby shops, from mom and pop stores and nearby shops. So these small MBOs which are there near your neighbor, which you can call as neighborhood stores, they are also doing well. So from that perspective, in a chain of events, these neighborhood stores are doing really well. Then you talk about online retailing. There are exclusive websites from Zivame, Pretty Secrets, Myntra, Jabong, Flipkart. Shapewear is one category which is going to pick up faster, while all other categories are growing at a much faster pace, but shapewear is one more category which one should focus on. I think this was the brief of the primary research, the consumer research which we have done. More important now, the next part for another 4-5 minutes, I will. It's very important for industry to understand that if you have understood the consumer really well, how you can correlate it with your business, how you can expand your business in line with what consumer is, how consumer is changing and what he is thinking. Projected market growth. Super premium, we talked about this market size of 11,100 crores. At a CAGR of different rates like 26, 22, 17, 8, in next 5 years, we are expecting this market to be at this growth rates, 2,000 crores for super premium, premium 4,860 crores, economic 10,300 crores, and mass 5,800 crores. So here, when we talk about opportunity, why every time whenever we give a presentation, we keep a tap on, like, maybe today if you talk about 4,860 crores, the market might remain at 4,000. But definitely it's a growing, still going from 1,800 to 4,000 crore is a bigger market. So you are present in a growing market and there is a lot of business opportunities. Definitely we need to be sure in terms of product and retail experience that we talked about earlier. Both things have to be really seen in depth. When you talk about product, you can only create the right product when you have a good consumer understanding.
I congratulate you for doing such a effort, and day and night he has worked very hard to bring up this report, and which was given by this initiative was taken by Intima Apparel Association, and this job was given to Mr. Wazir, advisor, Mr. Prashant. He has really done a very good job, and we really appreciate. And on behalf of Intimate Apparel Association, I really thank you for doing such a wonderful. A good round of applause I want. People are very happy using underwire bras, but when it comes to India, ladies are not comfortable using underwire bras. We don't understand. We have tried making very good bras and very good quality of underwire bras. Even lot of brands are importing from Sri Lanka, from where Marks and Spencer and all the other big brands are selling. So the same kind of bras are comfortable to the world, but they are not comfortable to Indian women. We just want to know, what is the major reason did you find for not comfortable in underwire bras?
Yeah, we did survey this point very specifically, as it was a special request by you only to inquire deeply into this area. So when we did the research, you're absolutely right about the statistics that in India women are very apprehensive about wearing an underwire bra. The major reason is that one, that the reasons are multiple. One is more psychological. Women think that it hurts them. And two is lack of awareness on the part of women, because when they go and shop for these products, they're not really given the right sizes. For example, I was given an example by a retailer who told me that a woman came and he suggested her to buy an underwire bra. But she said no, she's very apprehensive about buying it. When he checked, he got to know that she is wearing a cup size C, wherein her actual cup size should have been E. So the wrong usage of the cup size was the reason which was giving her the problem with using underwired and not really the product itself. So the reasons are multiple. At times the product they are using is of inferior quality. At times they don't really have the awareness about the correct size. So if they use the wrong size, it gives them the problem. And third is psychological. So it's a mix of all the factors which is really not, which is stopping the usage of underwired bra for special occasions and not in daily wear.
So what is your suggestion? Like, what do you suggest where we should work on? Which area we should work on to improve on this?
I think if you're sure about your product, that the product that you're offering is right, then I think the other gap has to be in terms of creating awareness on the part of consumers, and second would have to be awareness should be done at the retail level. The staff which is there assisting the customers, they should be well educated to guide the customers to buy the right product in the right sizes.
Because that awareness is a big issue, and then word of mouth. Once you find a product not as per your requirement, you tell to 5 people, no, I think I tried, this is not workable, it's not suitable. So 5 more presumed customers are going away.